You're listening to Mark McNeese's Fearsome Fiction Podcast. Mysteries, thrillers, and rare finds. Fasten your headphones.
Welcome to another True Crime Tuesday on Fearsome Fiction. This week's case comes with an element of dark humor, although nothing's funny about a stranger breaking into people's homes. Nobody died in this story. Nobody was even hurt, not at first. What we've got instead is something stranger. A criminal whose weapon of choice was a pair of scissors, whose target wasn't a wallet or a life, but his victim's hair. And for one summer in 1942, an entire Mississippi town lived in terror of a man who broke into bedrooms in the dead of night for no reason anyone could explain. And there's more. Even after an arrest and a conviction, people still aren't sure the right man ever paid for it.
It's June 5th, 1942. Pascagoula, Mississippi, a small shipbuilding town swollen with wartime workers, its population tripling almost overnight as families poured in for jobs at the shipyard. Late that night, at Our Lady of Victory's convent, two young girls, Mary Evelyn Briggs and Edna Marie Heidel, are asleep in their room. They wake to find a man climbing out their window. Nothing is stolen. No one is hurt. But when the girls check themselves over, they realize something has been taken after all. Chunks of their hair sliced clean away while they slept. The window screen has been carefully cut open to let the intruder in. Mary would later give police the only real description anyone ever got. "Sorta short, sorta fat," she said, "and he was wearing a white sweatshirt." That should have been the end of it. A one-off, a strange prank maybe. It wasn't. A few days later, 6-year-old Carol Petey wakes up missing much of her own hair, her window screen cut just like before. Then an adult woman, a Mrs. Taylor, becomes a victim too, and her account raises something even more unsettling. She suspects chloroform was used to keep her from waking during the act. By now, this isn't a rumor anymore, it's a pattern. And Pascagoula is officially terrified. Picture it, a town already on edge from the war, its streets full of strangers who'd just arrived for shipyard work, and now a faceless figure creeping from house to house at night, slicing screens open like wrapping paper and vanishing with nothing but hair. Parents start standing watch over their children's beds. One resident later recalled her father literally forging an iron nightstick so the men of the neighborhood could take shifts on patrol because the rumor was the Phantom was targeting blonde children specifically. The police chief, A.W. Ezel, brings in bloodhounds. He puts a $300 reward on the table, almost $6,000 today. He arms 6 volunteer citizens and sends them out on night patrol. And still, the Phantom Barber keeps striking, slipping past every one of them, again and again all summer long. Then, just as suddenly as it started, it turns violent. A married couple is attacked with an iron rod in their own home, and this time, it's not hair the assailant is after. Whether this attack was really the same person or an entirely different act of violence mistakenly folded into the legend is something that's still debated. 2 months after that final incident, Chief Ezel, working now with a Pinkerton detective named Miras Talley, announces the case is solved. The man in custody, William Dolan, a 57-year-old German-born chemist who'd once run a pharmacy in New Orleans before retiring to Pascagoula. Investigators say they found hair clippings and shears buried in his backyard. And here's where the story gets its second twist. This is 1942. America is at war with Germany. And the official line from police is that Dolan wasn't just some local oddball, he was a Nazi sympathizer, deliberately trying to terrorize a war industry town and crack morale on the home front. Dolan denied everything. There was no hair analysis to tie him definitively to the convent break-in or any of the others. Just circumstantial evidence, wartime suspicion, and a foreign accent in a country primed to see enemies everywhere. He was convicted, not of the haircutting itself, but of attempted murder tied to that final violent attack and sentenced to 10 years. He served part of it, was released early, moved quietly to Hancock County, and then, according to at least one local historian, simply vanished from the record. No one knows what became of him after that. So, did they get the right man? Or did a frightened wartime town need someone to blame, and a German immigrant with a chemistry degree happened to be standing there? No hair samples survive to test today, no DNA, no way to close the case with any certainty. All these decades later, the Phantom Barber of Pascagoula remains exactly what its name promises, a phantom. A story that ends with a conviction, but not necessarily an answer.
You've been listening to True Crime Tuesdays, a feature of Mark McNeese's Fearsome Fiction podcast. Enjoy mysteries, thrillers, and rare finds with a side dish of true crime to thrill to from the safety of your headphones. Stream us on Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, Audible, and at fearsomefictionpodcast.com.
You're listening to Mark McNeese's Fearsome Fiction podcast. Mysteries, thrillers, and rare finds. Fasten your headphones.